So I joined Cherry Creek Toastmasters in 2006 and set the goal of becoming the world champion of public speaking. Of course, I entered the international speech contest. I made it to the top 10 in the world championship. Studied harder over the course of these 2 years. I spoke 304 times for free, all preparing for the world championship. And in 2007, that was the year that I went back and I lost again, but I lost higher. I was second place. I was the world champion of public speaking, first runner up at that time. I was the youngest person in history to carry that title. I will be forever grateful to Toastmasters, but specifically to Cherry Creek Toastmasters and all of the people that were there in my club. One of the jokes I still tell to this day, I originally wrote for my very first icebreaker speech at Cherry Creek Toastmasters, which I'm thankful for the way that it took me, because it's not about the trophy. It's about the person that you become in the process. And a gentleman walked up to me. I was at the National Speakers Association in the giant buffet lunchtime hall, just this open exhibit hall. I'm sitting at a table by myself, and a gentleman walks up to me and he says, "Hey, you're Rory Vaden, right? You're the Toastmaster kid." And I said, yes, sir, I am. And he said, I heard about the world championship. That's pretty cool for a guy your age. And he said, "Is anybody sitting there next to you?" And I said, "No, like, of course not. Like, please sit down." And then I looked at him and I said, I'm sorry. Have we met? I don't know you. And he reached his hand out to me and he said, "My name is Zig Ziglar." This is a true story. That is how I met Zig Ziglar. He introduced himself to me. I didn't know who Zig Ziglar was at the time. Zig is, of course, one of the legends of our space. And from that day, we developed a personal friendship. Zig Ziglar personally mentored me and chose to invest time with me because of the track record and the success that I had at the World Championship of Public Speaking, which has everything to do with my time at Cherry Creek Toastmasters, and the original inspiration and vision coming from Ed Tate, who's become a very good friend over the years, and just him setting that path and showing and helping me believe that it really was possible. One of the things that I learned is it's not about the trophy. It's about the person that you become in the process. The other thing that I would say is to Darren LaCroix, who is the 2001 world champion of public speaking, it's about stage time, stage time, stage time. To some extent, it's true. I am young in age time, but at 38 years old, but I am old in stage time. At this point, I have been on stage over 2,000 times. Yeah, I delivered my first presentation when I was 17 years old and delivered 304 presentations over those 2 years that I was competing. In 2012, I was able to release this book, Take the Stairs. We did a nationwide bus tour. Of course, I don't have the bus anymore, but I do have a facsimile of this bus. And we did this nationwide tour where, again, I spoke for free in 23 cities over the course of 30 days. And we invited people to come for free to hear me speak. Most of what I was teaching was right out of my contest speeches that I had spent years crafting. And then we offered them a chance to buy my book at the back of the room. Well, we sold about 15,000 copies over the first 6 weeks. And this book ended up becoming a #2 New York Times bestseller and a #1 Wall Street Journal bestseller. I was delivering the speeches, telling some of the jokes I wrote in my icebreaker speech there at Cherry Creek Toastmasters, using the stories, the content, the feedback, the evaluations that I had received for years, all going back to the study and this goal and this dream of pursuing the world championship of public speaking. Based on the success of my first book, my publisher invited me to write another book, which I did. It was called Procrastinate on Purpose: 5 Permissions to Multiply Your Time. That book also was a national bestseller, but more excitingly, I did a TED Talk called How to Multiply Your Time, which was an 18-minute version of my speech. I spoke for free at TED, but I was turned down by 27 different TED organizations. I tried to speak. They would not let me speak. But there was one in TED, gosh, I don't even remember the name of the city that I spoke at, but it was their first year doing TED. And so they agreed to have me. And there were less than 50 people in this room. It was this beat up, broken down theater in the middle of Douglasville, Georgia. That's where it was. TEDx Douglasville. And they only took me because it was their first year. But I knew how to deliver an 18-minute talk because I was a master of delivering the 5 to 7 minute talk from Toastmasters. You should do the speech contest, not because of the trophies. Nobody hires me because of the trophies. Nobody cares about these trophies. They sit literally in our basement tucked away. But the person you become in the process is what matters. That person is powerful. That person is important. And more significant than that is not just who you become in the process, but is all the people that you will help as a result of the person that you became in the process. And that starts with what you're doing right there every week at Cherry Creek Toastmasters. So I wish you the best. And to take a line out of my first book, Take the Stairs, just remember that no matter who you are, success is never owned. Success is only rented, and the rent is due every day. Much love. Catch me on Instagram at Rory Vaden, or check out all my free articles at roryvadenblog.com. All my best to you. Be well, my friends. Bye-bye.